Welcome to the Her Story Circle podcast, the podcast that brings you the extraordinary tales of everyday women who are changing the world. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and I'd like to acknowledge traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today. I also like to pay my respects to elders, past, present, and emerging. Every week, we dive into the lives, challenges, and triumphs of women from all four corners of the globe. We're here to inspire, enlighten, and connect, sharing stories that uplift and empower. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and join us as we explore the incredible journeys of women shaping our future. This is Her Story, where every woman's voice matters. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Her Story Circle. This is Gertrude Mache here in beautiful Melbourne, Australia. And today I am graced with the presence of yet another fascinating woman. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our tribe. Please tell everybody your full name, where you're based, and share your story with us today.
Hello, everyone. So nice to meet you. My name is Marina Stoyanova, and I'm a seven-figure business and marketing mentor. And I'm so pleased to be here today and to share my story with other entrepreneurs all around the world and to empower you to keep your way and move forward. So let's begin. I want to share with you my journey and how everything started, how I decided to start my business. And I know this story is going to be very powerful for each and everyone who is already in business. And this is maybe going to bring you back to the moment when you started. And you're going to find yourself in many of my micro moments that I was experiencing. And it is also going to be very powerful to everyone who is just about to start your journey. And the reason why I want to share this is because our life and the business entrepreneurial journey is something that is day-to-day life. There is no one magic pill that is going to help you immediately start your business, immediately scale your business. It is something that is going to be happening to you every single day. This is the business reality, and you can expect from me to be very transparent with you about all the good, the bad, and the ugly parts of this entrepreneurial journey. And I know that many of you are going to find yourself into my words. Let me begin with how everything started. I have more than 11 years of experience in the corporate world with working with entrepreneurs and coaches to start their businesses, but also to grow their businesses. So I'm working both with people who are just beginning and they need to build their first offer, build their structure, and after that scale, but also with and coaches who are already in the massive scaling phase. And this is where magic really happens and we really enjoy it. But how it started for me, it was 4 years ago. I was still in corporate. I was in an international company, a brand manager, and I was building and scaling brands. And I loved so much what I was doing. But what happened to me at one point was burnout. And this is a topic that we really need to pull forward and to speak about it honestly, because there are a lot of circumstances that contribute to living in a toxic environment. And that was my case. I was breaking all benchmarks out there in the company, but at the same time, I was feeling extremely lonely. I was feeling a heavy burnout because the travel, because of all the work, all the events, were causing me missing from my home for half of the week at least. There were also many weekends where I was not present at home. And at that time, when I was still in my 20s, it was fun in the beginning. But at some point, it was no longer fun. Moreover, there is a lit in the corporate world that you cannot just leave. And that was causing my unhappiness. And I'm not worried to say it, because as I said, this is going to be a conversation of transparency. And there are many, many wonderful people out there in the world who actually can start something about themselves. And that's the real point. Because you're going to realize that the money you make doesn't make sense if you are unhappy, if you feel exhausted, if you do not find this inner satisfaction. And there was this crucial moment for me when I received the kick, and I was told that I'm the only one who cares. And having in mind this, I was asking myself, okay, the moment when I wake up, I'm asking myself, why should I get up from the bed? Also, obviously, I'm the only one who cares. Then why should I keep making millions for someone else? And why do I have to feel like that? And don't get me wrong, it was really fun. It gave me a lot of expertise, and I will be always grateful about what happened. But at some point, you are really asking yourself the question, is it worth it? Who am I? You're waking up, you're seeing that your life goes on, and then you're asking yourself, is this going to be my life in the next 20, 30 years? So that was the moment when I decided I'm going to quit. And if I will be the only one who cares, I'm going to build my business where I will feel my satisfaction. And this is how it started. I was seeing so many women out there. This was my first touch with business. I was seeing some coaches who were incredible in what they do, but they didn't have that business structure, that marketing strategy to promote themselves and to monetize their genius. So this is how I started, and it was really, really, really nice. I still remember this with the best feelings, and still the first milestones feel warmest to my heart, because back then, you're just getting out of the corporate world. You don't have this big bag behind you, and you're by yourself. And this is why my initial milestones are something that warms my heart the most. And because, every journey, every start of the journey might feel difficult. In the beginning, you are messy, chaotic. You are not sure what exactly will happen, how exactly it will happen. But I am so proud of myself that at that point, I was not thinking, what if it doesn't work? Basically, this doesn't exist in my mind. So when I started working with the first coaches and online entrepreneurs, I was just like implementing all my know-how. And they started having incredible results from the first client. It was really magical because my frameworks were working really good. And, it's typical that when you start, you need a lot of refinement. But this made me believe so much in myself when I was seeing that they were having wonderful results in just weeks of working together. And it was really beautiful journey since then. Of course, afterwards, I pivoted and I started working with other bigger business owners who already started their journey, who are in the phase of massive scaling. But what I was seeing was that they were in this hustle mode. And since I was coming back from there, what I wanted most from for each and every one of my clients was to give them this safety and security that they can lead their business without being all the time in the hustle mode. So then my frameworks evolved, and I started introducing more and more high converting sales funnels that were bringing 7-figure recurring revenue. And I managed to help my clients get out of this month-to-month cycle where they're constantly worrying of launching, constantly worrying where are the sales going to come from, how exactly I'm going to sign clients today. And it was again magical how quickly things were happening, because all of these people, all of these incredible entrepreneurs were having this unique scent, unique flavor that we were managing to infuse in their programs and in their messaging. When we were implementing these high converting funnels, this high converting sales engine that I built, millions started flowing for them literally in 30 to 60 days. So this makes me really proud, because in this online space that is highly saturated right now, you need to know that there is a place for you. There is a place for you because you are incredible in what you are doing. And why I started with my story and this burnout, because many of you are getting into this cycle. And this can be navigated. You need to know that your genius is something that needs to be shown to the world. And when we implement systems and optimize the way you're doing your business, this is when sales start coming on autopilot, the way I love to say it. And there is a foundation that we can build. So you don't get stuck because you feel that you hit a financial ceiling. And when we have this powerful sales engine, you're going to get out of this cycle of constant hustle. This is extremely important, especially for female entrepreneurs, because the female energy, and I'm not someone who is, dividing the feminine and the masculine, not at all. But unless you break this month-to-month cycle of hustling, you're going to be kept in your income, and your nervous system is going to feel in constant rush and urgency. That additionally repels high caliber clients. Instead,
So
we can.
can I stop you there and let's just go back and unpack your story a little bit?
Okay.
So you reached a point of burnout. Are you a mother? Are you a wife? What other responsibilities did you have as a woman working in the corporate space that put all of this pressure on you?
Yeah, I at that point I was not a mother, not a wife. So it was only me. But my problem was that I was not having a personal life.
Yeah.
I didn't have time for friends, for a man. There was just no place, you know. Everything was work. As I said,
Yes.
I was constantly traveling. all my clothes or 80% of my wardrobe was in the car.
Oh,
I was
wow.
sleeping in five-star hotels, but I didn't even feel anything of that. It was like going exhausted in a hotel room by yourself, waking up in 5 6 hours and doing the same cycle over and over again.
So, can you mention your early success in achieving $10,000 on your own a month? And what do you attribute this rapid success to?
Yeah, so this is the so-called 10K mark, uh, which, by the way, is more difficult for most online entrepreneurs than achieving a
Yes.
100K month. Because in the beginning, you're in this stage where you're not clear what exactly is happening, how exactly is it going to happen. You're working with anyone just because you need to.
Yes.
And I was really surprised. I was both surprised and not surprised because I knew that my expertise is going to be serving me the best way possible. But at the
Mhm.
same time, it is an extraordinary achievement to get to this 10K mark by yourself in the beginning when you're just starting, when you're not clear in your vision. Yes, of course, you have a vision, you have an idea, but there the game plan is not clear. The game plan
Yes.
is like, okay, let me try this and we'll see what's going to happen.
Happens.
And although I have all these business and marketing knowledge, it is still, when you're doing it for yourself, it's kind of difficult because you cannot be your own mirror and you cannot find the gaps because you're too close to yourself.
Yes.
And this is like, I like to say that the surgeon cannot make an operation on himself.
Self.
Yeah, so I was really, when I didn't even realize, and I remember seeing my bank account and seeing this monthly income, and I was like, hold on, how did it happen? Um, and yeah, it was in the first 3 or 4 months since I started, and of course, it was not a clear sky all the time.
Yes.
There were, many moments when I was catching myself making a mistake, or it was not that much a mistake, but it was, I was seeing some gaps that I could have done better, things that I
Yeah.
could have, like my boundaries, for example. As I told you in the beginning, the game plan is okay, let's start and we'll see what is going to happen.
Happens.
This is,
Yes.
uh, I think this is something inevitable for everyone who is starting,
Yes.
uh, because you cannot be clear. And I firmly believe that each and every one of us have our own journey, and we
Mhm.
need to learn from our experience.
Yeah.
And at that point, I remember that my boundaries were completely not there, because as I told you, you're starting from scratch, from zero. Like,
Yes.
when you're in a big corporation, only when you say the name of the corporation, you are someone. But then when you get out of it and you're by
Yeah.
yourself, you have no name yet, no
Yeah.
brand, no one knows you. You have to prove yourself again from scratch.
Right.
And it was difficult because you start again from zero. You already built something, you have your experience and expertise, but when you start your own business, you need to go through this whole journey again.
So, what unique methods or strategies have you refined over the years to create this high converting sales engines for your clients?
Yeah, first of all, uh, I started noticing what works best in order to be able to extract these frameworks, because as I told you, it could be very chaotic, and
Yeah.
we are really unique, and each and every one of us has strengths and has this unique genius that we need to showcase.
Yeah.
And then in this case, not always we have one strategy that fits all, but we have main principles that are proven to work. So I started
Yes.
analyzing when my clients were having the best results in the shortest period of time.
Right.
And I pivoted to five main principles that are bringing the best results,
Okay.
meaning sales, meaning recurring revenue. Because I don't want to see anyone in this hustle mode, as I mentioned,
Yes.
and we want to feel safe and secure.
Mm-hmm.
So this was when I started noticing first how my messaging and my clients' messaging is performing, what are the main principles that we need in order to have your messaging land for your ideal client. And this is when I developed my fine tuning to millions messaging method and the source code to seven figures messaging. Because there are, of course, it's normal, there are often red flags that are happening and preventing from attracting our ideal client. This
Yes.
goes then the hustle mode, and we want to avoid this. We want to attract ideal clients with our messaging and to convert them in as little as hours, not to
Yeah.
have this long period of warming up, of months of nurturing, because this is slow, and
Yeah,
it
it's a very slow process. So
yes, it's
um, how do you approach the omni-channel communication in your marketing strategies? And why is it essential for online entrepreneurs?
yeah. So this is actually where this high converting sales engine comes, because you cannot scale to seven figures
Mhm.
if your different channels are not working together. And oftentimes, this is the reason that coaches and online entrepreneurs stay kept in their income, because these different channels, such as social media, such as email marketing, and let's say even offline, you're attending events, speaking at stages. And then if your messaging is not aligned, and if you're not utilizing powerfully all these different channels, the omni-channel marketing, this is when things are not working and you're leaving millions on the table. And the moment
Mm.
when we implement this high converting sales engine, which is messaging, offers, and sales automations, this is
Yes.
already a completely different level of income. And the best part is that it requires less effort and less time. And
Yes.
you can be, you don't need to be um, glued to your phone or computer, and you can freely go out, take time off, and you can enjoy your life. Because as I told you, money doesn't make sense if you are not satisfied in your personal
Yes.
life. If there
Yeah.
is no love, if you don't have friends, if you
There's
don't
no
have
point
time
in
for your
working.
partner, and you go
Yeah.
to bed exhausted and lonely, what's the point? Seriously, what's the point?
So many entrepreneurs struggle with target group identification.
Yeah.
What's your process for pinpointing the ideal audience?
Well, this is the most common mistake, and I advise my clients to really sit down and take time, even 1 hour if needed, and analyze who they enjoy working the most with, who is
Yeah.
having the best results with them. And here the thing is, it's not a female entrepreneur, or it's not a coach, or it's not, this the regular things that we are used to do. It's much
Yes.
more about the emotional intelligence. And this was the game changer for me. The moment when I sat down with myself and I was completely honest, and I saw that in my messaging I was calling everyone who I could help. But the thing is that your work is not for everyone, and you're not for everyone. And if it was that way, we would all be liked. But there
Yeah.
is no, you cannot be liked by everyone. First of all, you cannot
No.
resonate with everyone, and it's the opposite is also valid. You have people who you like, and it's this immediate touch point where you feel very connected to someone, just like in dating. The moment you
Yeah.
see someone, and this is my person, or that's not gonna work at all. So it's the same with your ideal client. And
Yeah.
I would strongly advise to sit down and write down who do you enjoy working with and who you completely don't want in your world. And this is the best question you can answer, because there you're going to find the real truth. And I want to say something else. Your ideal client is evolving as you're evolving.
Okay.
For example, my ideal client is shifting every 6 months because
Yeah.
I evolve and I see what works right now. I
Right.
see trends. I see, the resilience is extremely important. That's why I'm saying think of the patterns that your most successful clients have and think of the emotional intelligence of these people.
Yes.
Emotional intelligence is probably the most important thing if you are an entrepreneur. And
Right.
resilience, how you're reacting to what's happening. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you something. The 5-figure version of you, the 6-figure version of you, and the 7-figure version of you is still going to have life.
Yeah.
And life is happening in the most inappropriate moments.
Yes.
For example,
Yes.
you're going to get sick just when you're starting your launch, or I don't know, some other
Um,
situation is going to happen.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe you didn't sleep well that night and you wake up with a headache. And it's not one of these days where you're asking yourself, oh my God, how I'm going to make it through today.
Yeah.
And this is going to happen to you at any stage, regardless if you make 5K, 10K, 300,000 per month, or 1 million per month. And I work with many, many successful entrepreneurs who make multi-million dollars per month.
Right.
And we face the same challenges.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have family, let's say you have kids, you have your husband, and nowadays it's it's difficult because especially for us as women, you need to be a wife to your partner. You need to be a
Yes.
housewife, and the household needs to be clean, to have, you need to eat every single day a couple of times. uh, for example, if you have children, I still don't have children, but I completely adore each and every mompreneur. I don't know seriously how they are doing it.
Do
Uh,
it.
yeah, and your children need you, your partner needs you, your household needs you, your business needs you. And in the end, the thing that I'm struggling the most is time for myself, where I have
Right.
these 1-2 hours per day just to sit and take a sip of coffee without looking at my phone, without looking at notifications, without
Mm,
working with clients. Yes, I love my clients, but I need time for myself. And I know
yes.
that this happens to each and everyone. This is why I had to develop a system that is going to let you take time off. You cannot be constantly worrying of sales, where the money is coming from, how
Mhm.
exactly I'm going to to start this month? What I'm selling this month? These are questions that need to be mapped out, and everything needs
Yes.
to be clear so you have a peace of mind.
So, for service providers and coaches like myself aiming for that 6, 7 figure growth,
Yes.
what are the first steps that you advise them to take?
Yeah, we are always starting with your messaging. We're first analyzing it, seeing what are the gaps. And this is when all aha moments come.
Yeah.
And, I will give you an example. A client of mine was using one certain phrase in his messaging. The moment we removed it, he stopped attracting these dependent clients that were
Uh-huh.
expecting him to be their savior. The moment we removed this phrase, in 2 weeks, he made 71K just
Wow.
2 months in 2024. And this was one phrase only. And
Amazing. So the
oftentimes,
words that you use are very, very important. The messaging
yeah,
is
we
crucial.
are we are subconsciously using vocabulary that is repelling high caliber clients. And that was
Yes.
huge for me.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
That was huge for me when I realized some keywords, let's say, that I was using that were repelling high caliber clients. And the moment I shifted, I was able to remove all the urgency and to attract clients who are ready to pay and who know that building a business is not a one-time activity.
Yes. It's
Meaning
a
these clients who are going to secure your recurring revenue because they know they need this long-term investment. Yeah,
Mhm.
this is when a one-time sale turns into 12 payments.
So I have got 3 more questions. It's just a pity that the podcast is only 30 minutes. I could talk to you forever. My last 3 questions is what advice would you give female entrepreneurs about setting boundaries in business to protect their mental health and energy?
This is a very, very important question. As I told you in the beginning, this was something I was really struggling with because, of course, I want to serve my clients and I want to give the best to them. But then, what is going to happen if you do not have clear boundaries, meaning terms and conditions on each and every sales page that you have, or opt
Yes.
in page or checkout page? You are going to face a lot of refund requests. You're going
Yes.
to attract dependent clients who are going to expect from you to be their savior. The clients who are in this victim energy that we don't want to. And
Okay.
again, as I'm saying, avoid words that are attracting this type of clients. People in luck, people in the victim mindset. And I had this situation 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and the client told me there is someone who just bought, didn't even see the product, and now want a refund. And I
Yes.
even went on a sales call with them to explain everything. And I asked, my first question is, do you still do not have these terms and conditions and refund policy, clear refund policy on your sales page? And she said, no. I said, go look at my sales page, copy and paste it if you wish, but put your terms and conditions. You need to protect yourself. There is one
Yes.
very important sentence you need to know: no one is going to save you. You need to be the one who is protecting
Practice yourself.
your know-how, your energy, and everything you create.
I love it. Now, my last question is going to be a bit of a time experiment where I'm going to take you into the past and we are going to go and have a conversation with the younger you, that young woman who came out of corporate, decided to go into business. If I could take you back and you could give yourself 3 nuggets of wisdom based on what life has taught you up until this point.
So the first one is going to be really no one is going to save you. Actually, you are the source of anything you want to achieve. Because this might sound as a cliche, but the power is within you. You're much more powerful than you think, and you can achieve anything you want. What you need to do is to have a clear vision and a game plan, and protect your boundaries. So this is something I would say to my younger self 4 years ago. Take care of yourself and do what you want to do, because oftentimes we are different and we feel bad about it, and instead you need to embrace your unique flavor. What makes you different is actually the biggest blessing, and this is why you're getting paid, because you're different, and you don't need to be like everyone else, but you need a clear vision. Where are you going? Who you want to become? Start doing it with every single action you're doing on a daily basis, even with the smallest possible thing you could do.
That is absolutely wonderful. Well, Marina, thank you so much for coming online and sharing your entrepreneurial journey with us today. It's so inspiring when I meet a woman who's not only succeeded in her own business, but she's helping other entrepreneurs along the way. Thank you for coming
Thanks a lot
online.
for having me. It's a pleasure. And I'm sure that many other women are going to find inspiration. And this is going to be the moment when they say, yes, I'm going for myself. I'm going bigger, bolder. And I'm doing this for myself and everything you love and want to achieve.
And thank you to everybody who's tuned in today. The Her Story Circle is not just a podcast. We are a social impact movement focused on sharing inspiring stories, predominantly from women, to uplift you, inspire you, educate you, and empower you with knowledge and skills. So tune in again tomorrow when I interview yet another amazing guest. In the meantime, have a fantastic day, morning, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And Marina, thanks again for the interview. Bye for now, everybody.
Bye.
That's a wrap, everybody, on today's episode of the Diversity Connector podcast. Thank you for tuning in and being part of our vibrant and global conversation. I'm your host, Gertrude Mache, and it's been an honor to share this space with you, where voices from all walks of life come together to weave a tapestry of diverse perspectives. Remember, every story you've heard today is a thread in the larger fabric of our shared humanity. So, as you step back into your world, carry these stories with you and let them inspire you to embrace and celebrate the rich diversity around us. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast to help us share these inspiring stories with more listeners. Do follow us on social media by looking for the Diversity Connector podcast for more updates. Until then, keep connecting, keep listening, and keep celebrating the beauty of diversity. This is the Diversity Connector podcast signing off. Stay curious, stay open, and definitely